Welcome to Tales of Tales with MD, where we share heartwarming and inspiring stories from the world of animals. Today, we have a very special guest who makes functional products for our furry friends. Welcome, Anisha. So, today we welcome Anisha Pillai, the founder of Zoof Pets. So, Anisha, are you a pet parent or were you a pet parent always?
No, so I wasn't a pet parent. Now currently I do have Zoofy, but before Zoofy I've never had a pet.
Okay, so how did this journey of getting into, starting Zoof Pets happened? Because when you are a pet parent, you know what the problems are, what is it that I need for my dog. But since you were never a pet parent, so first obviously we would want to know, okay, how did Zoofy happen, and then how did Zoof Pets happen?
So it's ulta.
Okay.
Zoof Pets happened first,
Okay.
and we named Zoofy after Zoof Pets.
Okay.
It's not a typical story where I had a pet, I had a problem, and then we ended up founding Zoof Pets. So me and Deepak, who are the founders of Zoof Pets, are primarily product people. So we like designing products.
Okay.
So we were at a juncture in life where we were trying to create a D2C product which we could sell as a brand. So that was where we started off with. So at that point we started exploring air purifiers because we thought that was a product in need, and we thought pet parents needed it the most because of pet dander.
Which year was this?
This was around 2019, before COVID, before COVID. So then what happened, we spoke to a couple of pet parents. They gave references to more pet parents, and as we got started to talk, we realized that nobody really cared about air pollution or pet dander. What they cared was their pets. So they had so many problems to share with us for which they couldn't find any products or solutions. And even if they had found solutions, they were primarily getting it from US or UK, quality products.
What were some of the problems, if you could share? What did the pet parents say?
So one that of course came up was paw infections and paw cleanliness and products to clean their pups. Of course, there were grooming products, but in 2019 it was not as much as it is now. So in every area there were products, but not high quality products, not very functional products. They were all basic products that was available. So there was this need in the market. There was this gap we saw. We were not really sure because since we are not pet parents, we were not really sure what were they talking, or was it just one of the conversations that we were having. So we spoke to around 250 pet parents
Across the country?
Yes, across the country. Some we met face to face, some on phone, but we wanted to cover a huge range to understand this market. We had the product base, as in we were very strong product creators, but we wanted to really understand the pet parents' point of view. So eventually paws and paw infections came up as a very interesting topic which a lot of people covered, especially with dogs like golden retrievers, shih tzus, who have a lot of fur. And it
Smaller
was
breeds?
Furry breeds, not just
furry
smaller
breeds.
breeds, furry breeds. So then it was also about to be monsoon, as in the rainy season talks were around, and we were exploring if we could do something around that to solve that problem. We asked them whether they would be interested in dog shoes. A majority of them said no. But then still we thought.
So were there no, as in other brands there that time who did dog shoes, or?
There were. So there were a couple of. So when we started off, we knew of Ruffwear, who used to make dog shoes, and there were a couple of Chinese brands who used to sell. But those Ruffwear brands were primarily bought by people who have seen dog shoes in the US and UK. And
so very foreign concept, and it was not, Indians were not too much aware about.
And also if you ask them, they would say no. As in, it was not something, the idea was also not something which they were very open
familiar
about.
With and open
yes,
to.
Yes. But then we decided to, what people say versus what people do. It's not always the same.
Yes.
So we thought we will experiment, we'll try, we'll do something to see whether there is some merit in this idea. So we created a very simple dog shoe which is not even in existence in our current portfolio, just to check if people use it.
Okay.
We gave it to a bunch of pet parents who we had already spoken to. Monsoons had just started. There was no, I mean, we knew that those shoes won't last. We had all of those aspects in place, but we just wanted to test.
So how did you make that testing
So
product?
what we did was we just approached a balloon manufacturer and got a few balloons made.
Acha.
We
Okay.
tried to make it thicker, but it never happened because with them you can only work so much. We got those balloons to be worn by the dogs of the pet parents that we approached. They used it. They went for walks, came back with clean paws and said, "Get us more."
Okay.
It was a very bad quality product, but still they wanted more.
The need, people started realizing the need. Yes, we need this.
So that was a validation of the problem. Of
Yeah.
course, solution was not
Still
the
not
solution.
there. Yeah.
But we wanted to first validate if there is a problem and if something like this would really work. When we saw that it did, we went ahead and created a small batch
Okay.
of Zoof boots, which you currently see in the market. We sold out in a week. We had around 250 pre-orders and we had no idea how to manufacture it. But it was a very clear validation of this will work.
Yes.
So that's
at
how we
least
started.
The product had kicked off. It was the need. So it's like you created a product basis on market research.
Yes.
And it clicked.
So we always focus on if there is a problem, we create a solution.
So that's how you have been as product
Correct.
creators. That's how you work.
Correct.
So hence that was a background you used for Zoof Pets also. What's the story behind the name? Why is it called Zoof Pets?
So the word Zoof, it means somebody you like a lot. You're very affectionate about,
Oh.
and it also sounded very similar to woof. So we thought, why not?
So I didn't know Zoof is an actual word.
Yes, I mean it's not a very commonly used word. It's more of a slang,
Uh-huh.
but we liked it and then we took it.
Very nice. So, like I'm also a pet parent. I believed that shoes are a lot to do, or anything which a lot of pet parents put on their pets. Like a lot of people put clothes and a lot of accessories. So for me, shoes were also in that area. It's for aesthetics. So I'm sure a lot of parents still believe that shoes are for aesthetic reasons. So how did you tackle or did you also come across such beliefs from pet parents or the people you spoke to, or when you made a test product and you went ahead and tested with them? So what was your experience?
So when we started off, we were very clear that, the first product that we made was very clear that this is for outdoor walks. It would keep your paws clean.
Okay.
It would protect your paws from dust, ticks, dirt, mud, water. It would help protect your paws from paw infection. That's the story we, went out with.
Okay.
It was never the cute factor of dog shoes that we
Okay.
tried to position ourselves. That's how we started. Now, of course, as you grow, you realize, different mindsets of people. And it is true that a lot of people still believe it is for aesthetics. However, there is a huge functional aspect to dog shoes. So every dog shoe, so we have around 5 kinds of dog shoes, but every dog shoe has a problem to solve.
Okay.
Hence, when somebody comes and inquires us with, if they want shoes, we first ask them, what are you taking it for?
Ah.
What is the problem that you're trying to solve, so that we can recommend the right shoes for them. Till now in the market, there was one kind of shoe which people used it for whatever purpose, indoors, outdoors, for paw injuries. There was just one shoe they used.
Okay.
But just like us, as in just like humans wear shoes for different types of shoes. Example, we don't wear the same sports shoes to,
everywhere. Correct.
yeah.
We have a casual shoe, we have an outdoor, indoor, different kinds of shoes.
Yeah. And India also has a variety of weathers.
Yes.
And we walk on a different, a variety of surfaces. So just like us, dogs too need different kinds of shoes. So get shoes only if your dog needs it.
So there may be a belief where dogs are animals. They are used to living in the open, and animals don't need shoes. Animals don't wear shoes. So how did you tackle that belief?
So see, it's true that we also don't need shoes.
Yes.
Okay, as humans, we also don't need shoes. But we do not live in jungles or walk on natural surfaces.
Yes.
We live in houses with tiles and marbles. We walk on concrete floors, concrete roads which get up to 50 degrees in summer. And we make our pets live in the same condition. So when your pets live like you, they also need accessories or products which would help them.
Okay.
Otherwise, if a pet's paw is very strong,
Huh.
but it is not made to be walked on a 50-degree tar road or to walk on a slippery
Tile. Yes.
it affects their it
Joints.
puts stress on their joints, their hip joints, and a lot of dogs end up developing arthritis as they age. So it's a common issue. It's not the cause, but it increases the probability.
Okay. Okay.
They are, of course, hip dysplasia is a condition which they are predisposed to.
Okay.
However, these things can increase or make it, the dog may start suffering quicker.
Uh-huh.
So that is why you get products for your dogs if you're making them live in an environment which is different from their natural
Which is
environment.
true for most of,
Correct.
especially in metro cities.
True.
Okay. You mentioned that you have 5 kinds of shoes. So what are these problems which each kind of product is solving for the customer or for the pet parent?
For instance, Zoof boots are the rubber boots. So
Okay.
somebody who wants to put on shoes quickly for their everyday walks, it's a easy, stretch put on. Of course, every dog takes a little time to get used to shoes,
Yeah.
but these are very easy to put on. They're soleless. So because they're soleless, the dogs can feel the floor much quickly, and they get used to those boots quicker than usual. So those are the starter shoes that we generally recommend. The next is Zoof Plops and Zoof Casuals. They are both, the Velcro shoes that you see in the market, but they too have a flexible sole. We try to keep the sole flexible so that the paws get adjusted very quickly. Hard sole shoes are great. However, if you do not get the right fit, it can be uncomfortable for the dog. So these two shoes, one is a water resistant, Zoof Plops is water resistant, and Zoof Casuals are summer shoes. Now summer shoes are breathable, they are not water resistant. Now why
So
do
why
we...
do you think in India we need summer shoes separately and monsoon shoes separately?
So India has a variety of climate. It's not like US or UK where the temperature hovers around 30 degrees. Here our summers are 50 degrees, our monsoons are extremely wet and muddy. So for summers we need shoes where the paws are breathable. So that is why Zoof Casuals.
Okay.
And then we have an indoor shoe which is very breathable because they are made for 8 to 10 hours of usage.
So why are indoor shoes needed?
Like I said, a lot of large breeds like Labrador, German Shepherds, and Golden Retriever have a tendency to develop hip dysplasia. It's a genetic condition.
Yes.
They have
Yeah,
a
even my
tendency.
dog has hip dysplasia.
Correct. Second, a lot of senior dogs eventually end up having mobility issues due to arthritis or joint issues. Now, this as a result, also as a cause, is because of tiles and floorings which are very slippery. Now, when the dog is very young, as in 4 or 5 years old, they learn to walk on slippery floors. But as they grow old, they tend to slip a lot,
Yeah.
which causes huge stress on their joints, and they end up becoming immobile sometimes. Then you can always put carpets but it would still restrict their area of mobility. They can't really roam around the house. That is where Zoof Grips acts as a solution. Those shoes are very soft, they are breathable. If not for their entire waking hours, at least put it on when they are most active, so that they don't slip.
Okay.
And it will protect their joints. So we have had cases where the dog an immobile dog started walking because it found confidence because of the
Because
extra
of
grip.
the shoes.
Yeah. But every dog shoe takes some time to get used to. So, we have to be a little patient to help the dog understand, learn how to walk in dog shoes.
So that was my next question. So my dog has hip dysplasia. He's 8 years old, and he's okay with wearing the outdoor shoes when he goes out, but he's not okay with the indoor ones. And I've not been able to still convince him that these are good for you. So I'm sure most of the pet parents go through this. What are your suggestions that how do pet parents handle the dogs or handle them or convince them कि ये अच्छा है, you should wear this?
See, for what happens now, dog shoes, especially if your dog is walking outside comfortably, it clearly shows that shoes में कुछ issue नहीं है.
Okay.
It's because outside dogs are distracted.
हाँ.
They're more interested in the surroundings,
Correct.
so they end up walking. With the indoor shoes, what happens is it's just the shoe and them, and they want to resist.
Yes.
So initially, you have to find motivators, your dog's motivator, and encourage them. Basically, उनको ये समझाने का basic ज़रूरत है that these shoes will give you grip. Even if that is conveyed to them, communicated to them, उनको वो realize हो गया, then they start walking in those shoes. So it can be treats. Younger dogs use toys to throw the toy and play a fetch. Once they realize this dog shoes are giving them grip, first stage clear हो जाता है. Of course, there are stubborn dogs, and you may take a good 1 week to get used to them. Then we suggest that put on only your back paws. Because back paws are generally a little hard to reach. They don't really mind. Front paws are right in front of their eyes. And then progress to front ones.
Okay.
Understand your dog and take some time to get them used to it.
Did you get in touch with experts? People like groomers or people like veterinary doctors, to educate people or educate pet parents that why shoes are needed, or why you should, if a dog has a certain problem, shoes may solve that problem. So did you go that route also to educate parents and
So
get the product?
we use a lot of communication as in social media to try to educate why dog shoes are needed. So a lot of our products are developed in consultation with vets.
Okay.
So whenever we do a lot of research, scientific research on the anatomy, the paw anatomy, whatever product, it's not just shoes. Even if we develop harness, we understand the anatomy and develop the product. So we are in constant touch with the experts. Now experts can also convince only up to an extent.
Yes.
So they do their bit, but you cannot reach scale of making the parents understand. So that is only possible through social media.
Okay.
But yes, a lot of vets recommend especially Zoof grips across India, not just in Bombay, but across India. They do recommend Zoof grips if the pups have hip dysplasia or arthritis or slipping indoors.
So this, you must be getting, like, now it was 2019 when you started. So how many shoes you've sold so far? Like,
So
how
see,
many
what happened was,
pets have actually benefited through Zoof pets?
Around 20-25,000, yeah. But what happened was, we finished our research and COVID hit. We did, of course, sold through COVID because we were planning to put up a manufacturing plant. COVID hit. We did not, thankfully we had not given advance. So we ended up manufacturing inside our house.
Okay.
Inside our one of the bedrooms, and then sold it. So around 25,000. So that year was of course a little slow. But
Which are the cities which mostly this product got sold?
primarily urban cities.
Primarily there.
Yeah.
So
So
you
Bangalore
think,
is the
major city. Okay. So you think, as in, what I think is, for example, summers, as you mentioned, summers are even terrible in the northern part of the country, and a lot of metros. These may not be metros. These may be tier 2, tier 3 cities, and there the belief to change a belief system is even more harder. So how do you think you can educate pet parents there, and they can start adapting to shoes for their pets?
See, changing beliefs is always very slow. Okay. So, for instance, there are a lot of dog parents in tier 2, or for that matter across, who do not even walk their dogs.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Of course, there could be many reasons. The small dogs, they think, need not be walked. They've trained their dog to pee in the bathroom. Large dogs, sometimes they have huge area inside, as
In
a
the house. Yeah, in the smaller cities.
Yeah, exactly. It's a
Yes.
bungalow, so the dog roams around. So in those cases, shoes are really not required.
Okay.
Because they are walking on mud surfaces, which is often wet. It is not hot. Those things don't matter. But urban cities, a lot of people live in apartments. So that is where it is more critical. Of course, there are other products. For instance, if the dog lives indoors and they have a tile or marble flooring, even in a tier 2 city, they need to carpet it or put on Zoof grips.
So have since 20,000 parents have benefited from it, have reviews from pet parents also helped in getting more conversions, in terms of getting more to convince more pet parents, or to convince more experts? Yes, this is something good which you should try for your dog, depending what kind of issues your dog has. So have you observed that?
So we are a bootstrapped company. We have not raised any funding. So majority of our customers come from word of mouth.
Okay.
So it's purely reviews, it's purely word of mouth is how we manage to get our customers. So yes, so there have been cases where people have got Zoof grips, showed it to their vets. Their vets have told that this is extremely beneficial, ended up contacting us, and then recommended it to other of their patients. So there have been numerous instances where this has happened.
Okay. Do you get any special requests from pet parents? Do you know, maybe make something special for my dog, depending upon any special request,
Of course. So,
which is something different from what you already do.
so we've done quite a few customized orders. For example, we've had a 3-legged husky. So the issue was the fourth leg was long enough to touch the ground, but was not, of course, amputated. So the limb would rub against the road and gets injured. So they wanted something which is strong enough for them to use for a longer time, a shoe which they can put on that specific limb. So we took all the measurements, we created a shoe. We also got a lot of requests from paralyzed dogs. So we cannot solve every because paralyzed dog it's a different problem statement, because I personally believe a wheelchair kind of setup, those wheels work better, but temporarily we have provided solutions. For these 3-leg dogs, there have been 3-4 cases where we have had created specialized customized shoes for them.
What I understand is it's not a product which is for everybody. It definitely depends on the need of your dog. And if you don't have something, as in if you feel or if you can't understand as a pet parent, okay, this is what my dog needs, you can always consult them that this is what you can do. But always consult first, understand, and then go ahead with it.
So because see, a lot of times you would have figured out that your dog needs a shoe, but which shoe is what is important.
Correct.
So
Yes.
because a lot of pet parents do realize that they need anti-slip shoes to be worn indoors, but you have to be very careful to pick a breathable shoe. Otherwise, the paws may sweat, it may lead to infections. Those things can happen.
So are these shoes one size fits all kind of
No. So our shoes come in around 10 to 11 sizes.
Okay.
Because paw width, paw shape
It's
changes.
yes.
Of course.
Breed to breed,
Yes.
age to age.
Yes. So we also give consultation on how to pick the right size. There are a lot of videos that we share on our website. There are photographs on how to measure your dog's paw. Plus, we also personally, every order that we get, we personally check with the parent for paw size.
Okay.
Every single order.
As you mentioned that when you started in 2019, there were other brands also, similar brands, but now obviously there are many more brands. So how do you plan to continue differentiating? Because it's a product which can easily be copied.
See, any product in the market which solves a purpose and people are buying will be copied. In our case, I would be more than happy if people copy it or create more dog shoes, because right now we are at a stage where we need more people to spread education on why dog shoes are necessary. Right now we are the only ones who are screaming at the top of our lungs that please, this is why it is necessary.
25,000 is still a small number.
Exactly. So if there are more players, it's only beneficial for us, because they'll all contribute to spreading information or basically spreading knowledge. All we have to do is make better shoes.
So do you think that you would want to diversify into some other categories related to pets, which is also beneficial for pets and is missing from the market today, and pet parents need them or pets need them today?
So see, the thing is, there has been only one design philosophy that we follow. If we see a very clear problem, then we create a solution for it.
Okay.
We never develop products just for the sake of it, as in chalo harness hai to harness bana lete hain, anybody would need. So that's not our design philosophy.
Okay.
We are focused on creating products around walks, dog walks.
Achha.
So for instance, recently we created a product called Zoof Escape Proof Harness.
Okay.
Those are specifically for dogs who tend to escape. A lot of indies, a lot of rescues, they have trigger points. They're very lanky dogs who tend to back out of the harness and escape. And of course, escaping during walks is a very dangerous issue. That is why we created a very special harness which tightens when the dog tries to escape.
Okay.
So there are a couple of features in the harness which make sure that lanky dogs like indies, flexible dogs like indies cannot escape.
Okay.
So there is always a problem statement that we try to attack and create a solution for it.
And you continue speaking to pet parents, and
Of course.
Then if you see something else, then you may.
Our R&D as in board of list of problems is always overflowing. We don't find time to create those products, that's it.
So I think India market is still very nascent and not very, Indian pet parents are not very educated in terms of all the kinds of cares which your pet needs. And globally, I'm sure the situation is different. So how do you think this education or awareness around, because after COVID there was immediately a surge of more and more people got pets,
Correct.
and especially smaller breeds. So you think that also is helping create more awareness, not just about how to keep your pets, but also about different kinds of things which you need for your pet to take care of the pet. You know, like what people do, like as humans, what we do for our babies. Whenever you have a baby, there are multiple things which you think about, functional and otherwise also. So you think this entire phenomena of more pets coming in, this awareness is increasing and people are looking for more such products?
So the shift is definitely there,
Yeah.
as in it's moving from pet ownership to
Oh.
pet parenting.
Ah.
So as soon as that shift happens, you start looking at, as in every product that you buy, food, accessory, you're always very critical on whether this is beneficial and good
Or
for
not.
my.
Yes.
So that is definitely there, especially in urban cities. I think dogs are now considered as good as
Yes,
babies.
family, yes.
Yeah, babies who never grow up. Right. So that is there. It will happen slowly, and it will happen in super urban areas like Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore first, and then slowly move to the tier 1 cities. It will happen, but it will take time.
So let me come. This was all on Zoof Pets, and very interesting journey. And I must say, it's a very good functional product which you have created, which as a pet parent I have also benefited. My 2 dogs have benefited from it. Now I have certain questions around. You were not a pet parent, right? And you got a pet after Zoof Pets happened. So there is obviously a huge shift in terms of your own mindset or your own way of living, because a lot of adjustments need to be done once you got Zoofy on board. So what are the kind of changes or shifts you had to do in your own personal life, to adjust to that scenario, or was it a natural transition, or was it a lot of times a forced transition?
So when we got Zoofy, so we had decided, as in I had met a lot of dogs in general, as in because talking to pet
Why
parents.
did you get Zoofy? in the
Haan,
first
so
place? Let's
we had
learn.
decided that we'll get Zoofy only when we are prepared for a dog. Mentally, the house is prepared, we have a car, we have everything in place, so that when he comes, everything is set in place. So COVID happened. Halfway through the COVID, we had to get a car. We are somebody who do not buy products, who do not buy stuff unless and until it is necessary. So we were happy. I know. I mean, just traveling in Uber.
You didn't feel the necessity of buying a car.
So COVID was, just for the health aspect of it, you cannot really travel in public transport. And we had parents, we were trying to protect them.
Yes.
And they were also, so we got a car.
Okay.
So car was one major deciding factor to get, we had decided, that was a milestone. As in if we get a car, we'll get a pet. Yeah.
Okay.
So this was around Diwali time when we were planning, and we thought, okay, let's start looking. We were very clear that we'll adopt, because since a year we had seen so much, we have met so many people and we had spoken to a lot of people that we thought we'll adopt. And breed was not a criteria for us. All we needed was a dog which I could lift.
Achha.
In case there is a medical emergency, if there's something happens, I wanted a dog which I can lift. That was the only criteria that I had in my mind.
I've never thought it like that. It's a very valid criteria actually.
So I mean, funny, we also started doing weight training after we got Zoofy, because we always wanted that we should be healthy enough to lift him if required. So then I started looking around. As soon as you start looking around, social media puts, start showing you a lot of.
Keep getting all that only.
It was just one day before Diwali, when I have a friend who works in rescue, and there is an NGO called Anubis Tiger Foundation. I just told her that, because I had already spoken to her 1-2 years before. She said, whenever you plan to get a dog, tell me once. So I just told her once, and she sent, and I just said I'm planning, and she sent Zoofy's photo. He was 1.5 years old, and I do not know what his past was, but supposedly he was adopted and abandoned during COVID, and he had jumped 6 houses before.
Okay.
So I mean, I had no history of why he jumped and all, but that was one thing that I was a little concerned, that why were people not able to keep him? It's a concern, right? Yeah.
Does he have behavior issues or things?
You never know, right?
Yes.
But I am generally this person who takes all my decisions, thinking, analyzing, pros, cons,
Very
etc.
rational.
Yeah, but that was not a rational decision.
Okay.
I just saw his photo and I was like, nahi, yehi hai.
Huh.
Then I was just finding reasons to, justify my decision.
That's how I got Oreo. I just saw her picture and she's a Lhasa, she's 3 years, and I just saw her picture and I was like, isko le lete.
I know, and
She's
and
cute.
at that moment I knew I am not making a rational decision. But then sometimes heart over head.
Yes.
So then we went, met him, we took him for a walk. Everything happened, and he was a very interesting dog. As in, he was a very he checked all boxes, if you can think of it. Yeah, he was very calm, patient.
What were those boxes?
A lot of boxes. And is he a patient dog? Is he very jumpy? He was not jumpy. He was very patient. Of course, I mean, he used to pull a bit on leash, but then that every dog does who's not trained. He was, I mean, even till today, he has never had a potty or a pee accident.
Oh, nice.
He's very, very
Well trained.
Well trained. I don't know who trained him, but then
yeah.
I did not train him.
Huh.
But he was very, very well trained. Everything was great till 1 month after we got him. Then he started showing his true colors.
Now you know me, now I'm here.
Yes, and he got
Now
probably,
you know me better.
yeah. The next 1 year, especially because this is our first dog,
Yes.
and I have no idea what he went through. I mean, and I'm not somebody who would blame his past for his behavior in future. I'm like, now things are better, right? So you have to behave rationally. So we got a behaviorist. We spoke to a lot of experts. We worked for an year with him, and he changed. I mean, after that 1 year, now he's the best dog. But 1 year was something that makes you. He was a very difficult dog who became a great dog. He would
A lot of patience from
he would attack strangers. He would not let anybody inside the house. We couldn't open the door. So even now, the only thing we couldn't solve is his aversion to maids.
to maids. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I have no idea why, and I've tried very hard to make him friendly with maids, but no.
Maybe he feels these are not family because they don't live here.
I have no idea. I have no idea. I mean, he would be very friendly to
So how old
strange
is he
people.
today?
He's now 4.
Okay, and he still does that. Okay.
He's become much calmer. He's a great dog, but maids.
So Zufi was your first connection
Yes.
to an animal. So any fun instances or any silly thing which Zufi has done and you cannot just stop laughing while you think of that incident?
He's a very intelligent dog. As in, he would manipulate you. He would know exactly who to ask what, किससे कहाँ किससे मिलेगा. He has his favorite corner of the sofa, जिसमें there is a headrest and he likes to put his head. So he would, sometimes go to the door bark so that I get up and go to the door to ask him to stop barking, and he would run and sit in that
there,
place
in
because
his
I was
place.
sitting there. So he's done a lot of such. I mean, he does. I sometimes get very surprised by how is he able to manipulate me.
Very interesting. So, from not being a pet parent to starting a product which is a pet friendly product and then to getting a pet at home, that's a huge transition. And it calls for a lot of lifestyle changes, mindset changes, a lot of things like that. So, do you have a personal philosophy that guides you in life?
The philosophy is just growth. Okay, you keep trying new things. If it suits you, you keep it. If it doesn't work for you, then you try to do something new. Zufi, pet parenting, or interacting with pets came very naturally to us. Also, when we were trying to decide on what career we want to do, we wanted to do something which is very which doesn't feel too much like work. I mean, even today, running a business is not easy. Okay, it has its ups and downs.
Yes.
You are through financial crisis, then suddenly you are high. That
And when it is completely bootstrapped.
absolutely. But working with pets, when a pet parent sends you a message that this product helped my dog in the last 6 months of his life, thank you so much, and said, nothing can compare it. As in the kind of fulfillment or contentment that you get, and we end up crying when every parent loses their pet, even though we've not even seen the pet. But it is extremely emotional for us. So it is not something. The business is not just a business. The business has completely taken our life.
Yeah.
So
It's becomes fun to do, and it's
Correct.
not a force fit.
It's fulfilling more
yeah.
than fun. I wouldn't say it's always happy, it's always sad, but it's very fulfilling, and it's, you know, you start feeling very content. This, I don't believe in the concept of happiness because it's very relative.
Yes.
But contentment is something that you know you're content.
Who has been your mentor in your journey? Like you've started this business with your husband, so maybe he could be your mentor, or is there somebody else whom you always go out to for suggestions, feedback, you know?
So there has
Guidance.
been never one mentor in my life. So what I believe is there is always some special qualities in every person that you can gather, use it, you know, internalize it, become that person, and then move. So there have been lot of instances since we decided to start business. You know, when we decided to start a service business and worked with L&T and Reliance R&D, people there who made us believe on how you're supposed to develop products, you know. Then when we worked with a couple of startup guys on how to build a brand, then when we built our own brand, then we interacted with a lot of pet parents who advised us on how to, you know, create products. So everybody, if you start looking for qualities, everybody can teach you something.
What has Zufi taught you?
Zufi has taught to live in the moment. He does. I mean, just to stop giving, I mean, if I can use bad words, stop giving a fuck about anything. Everything would improve.
Like what we have here, all we have is now.
Yeah.
So thanks, Anisha. With this, I come to my last section, which is the most fun section. We call it quick pause.
Okay.
Or it's the rapid fire. You don't have a lot of time, and you'll get a nice hamper if you
I'm already nervous
answer
now.
all interesting answers. So no pressure. So
Thank you for putting the pressure.
So let me start. If Zoof Pets could collaborate with any brand in the world, which brand it would be and why?
Oh, that's a very difficult question. I can't ask follow-up questions. So some of the brands that we respect is a brand called Herta, which is a Swedish brand.
Okay.
There are a couple of very good Swedish brands who make cutting-edge product for pets. Ruffer is great, but those Swedish brands are really, really amazing. I'm not really sure if we would like to collaborate because I've never thought on those lines, but these are the brands. And of course,
These
in
are the
India,
brands you look up to.
yes. And in India, I think HUFT has paved a way for pet brands, as in Rashi is somebody who has really made it possible for pet brands to become a business in itself.
Correct. Yeah. True. Nice. So if you had to design shoes for any fictional animal, like a cartoon character, who would that be and how would the shoe be like? I know you have done ethnic shoes for dogs, so what this could be?
Cartoon characters, I'm not really sure. We have also done shoes for Great Danes.
Oh.
If they know that qualifies
So
as
maybe let me give you
Scooby is a Great Dane, no?
Yeah.
Great Dane, you know?
I think so. Say maybe if you had to, Kung Fu Panda 4 has just come up. So if you had to do a shoe for a panda, how would it be?
Could do a black and white thing. As in, we have done shoes. I mean, I'm always fascinated doing shoes for ducks.
Ducks.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because if you see, they have very interesting
paws. Yes. Oh,
so
that
ducks,
would be interesting.
yeah.
But would they need shoes? They are always in the water. Like
that's what I'm not really sure whether because there was an article long ago where a duck ended up doing an entire marathon.
Oh.
So somebody
Along
owned
with
the
humans?
ducks. Yeah.
Oh.
So they they made duck shoes and made him run the marathon.
That's very interesting. Okay.
It's just a fictional, as in it's a very interesting concept. That's it.
Yeah. And now I planted that seed.
Yeah.
Thought in your head. You can think about it. What's the most creative or unusual material that you have considered for making pet shoes?
Unusual material. So it's a lot of material that I want to use, but just because there is a lot of restrictions on of how a shoe can be made, those are a little difficult. But I'm really if something can be made out of wood, I don't know.
Maybe you can try all these banana fibers, bamboo wood.
The thing is, end of the day, shoes needs to be very as in
Flexible also.
flexible as well as strong.
Strong.
Because dogs walk with a lot of force. We
Force.
think they're very small.
No, they're not.
They are not. They don't walk like us gently.
Yes. They put one paw on you and you'll be like, wow. Okay. Which celebrity pet would you love seeing wearing Zoof pets? Or are there celebrities who
Of course,
have
there are a lot of
Zoof pets?
celebrity pets, as in Karishma Tanna, I mean, she's a regular buyer, and there are a lot of pet parents who've got. I don't even remember names now. Who got Zoof grips for their dogs, but I don't know. This is not because she's a celebrity or this is because Faye D'Souza's dog
Yeah.
Phoebe. I've always, I don't know why she's also from Anubis Tiger Foundation. So before Zoofy, when Phoebe was up for adoption, I really wanted her. So there is this affinity towards Phoebe. So yeah, but then so I would like her to wear shoes.
So if Faye listens to this
Yeah,
interview,
yeah,
I'm sure
yeah,
she'll consider.
yeah.
Are you considering designing for any other pet, maybe cats?
So we get lot of inquiries for cats,
Yeah.
but we are not still convinced whether cats
Need
need
shoes
shoes.
or not.
The day we get convinced, when there is a problem statement that is strong enough for us to be convinced that cats need shoes, that day. So we have made shoes for cats, handicapped cats.
Okay.
So cats who do not have, so their paws, claws had to be amputated, but they have their legs and they walk.
Okay.
So we created special shoes for them. So I've
But
done-
if you get requests from for cat shoes, so
we do, but
they
then
don't need
the issue is if the problem is, I mean, if you put on shoes without a product that is made for the
Yeah.
it is not, it isn't really useful. It's more of an aesthetic thing. Ek baar photo खींच लो and then you wouldn't use it. And people don't take, now they started, but people don't really take cats for walks.
yeah, they go on walks themselves.
Now you have harnesses for cats also, but yeah, I mean, nowadays people do take cats on harnesses for walks, but it's still not a concept strong enough, or not too many people are doing it yet. There are harnesses for birds also,
Oh, I didn't know. But for what? What?
so that they don't fly away.
Okay.
Basic.
I have different, beliefs on that. So great. So it was very interesting rapid fire, and you definitely win the hamper.
Thank you so much.
So that was Anisha. Thank you, Anisha, for joining us on Tales of Tales with MD. We
Thank you
thoroughly
for having
enjoyed
me.
the conversation.
Thank you so much.
And please continue the great work you are doing. And to the viewers, please explore Zoof Pets, a great product if you're a dog or, dogs for now. If they really need it, please go for it. That was all on today's episode of Tales of Tales with MD. Stay tuned with us for another very special guest coming soon.